Hello and welcome to Unacademy IAS. The National Stock Exchange of India Limited has submitted the draft red herring prospectus to the market regulator, that is SEBI. With this, it is set to become the largest IPO in India's history. What are the important points? Let's decode. Before I start, here is a very important announcement. Right now, the Unacademy IAS courses are available at the lowest ever prices of 16,999. Once you enroll, you will get access to the live and recorded classes, prelims and mains test series, mentorship services, etc. And if you choose to enroll for 2 years and above, you will also get a double validity feature as well. Those interested in enrolling, do check out the details by clicking on the link provided in the description below. I've been told that the offer is going to end tomorrow, and those who want to enroll, do not forget to use the code IAS English. Let me begin the discussion. The largest ever IPO so far in economic history of India has been of Hyundai Motors. The valuation of the company based on that, the IPO was conducted at just around 28,000 crore rupees. According to the estimates right now, the National Stock Exchange of India Limited is valued in the market at somewhere around 5 lakh crore rupees. And in the IPO that is proposed right now, 6% of the shares of the IPO are set to be sold to the investors. And if you do the calculation, 6% of 5 lakh crore rupee comes out to be around 30,000 crore rupees. And if this is the valuation which will fructify, and this is the amount that will be raised in the IPO, this will become the largest IPO in India's history. Now, what are the other important points? Whenever you talk about the initial public offering, the company may go for fresh issuance of the shares, and the company may go for the offer for sale. The fundamental difference is, in case of the fresh issuance, the shares are issued by the company, investors will purchase the shares, and the money that will be raised from the market will be added to the capital of the company. Whereas when you talk about offer for sale, under the offer for sale, the existing shareholders such as promoters of the company, the institutional investors who are holding certain ownership in the company, the shares of these existing shareholders are sold in the market. And whatever money is raised during this particular process, the money will not be going to the company, rather the money will go to the existing shareholders. So the very important point to note in the context of NSE IPO is the fact that the 6% of the shares that I told will be sold during an IPO. These 6% will be basically offer for sale, which means not even a single rupee out of this IPO which will be conducted for NSE will go to the entity NSE. Now, who are these particular shareholders who are willing to sell their ownership? This is basically the list of the existing shareholders. Lot of the government owned entities are also there in the list. These entities are set to cash out, basically sell their percentage of ownership or shares in the NSE. The total number of shares that are set to be sold during the IPO is said to be somewhere around 14.9 crore number of shares. And these are the other shareholders who have decided as of now, according to the red herring prospectus, these are the shareholders who have decided not to sell their shares. So this is a very important point to note. Now, apart from the World Federation, apart from this information, the World Federation of Exchanges has stated that NSE has retained its position as the world's largest equity derivative exchange. In India, we have Bombay Stock Exchange. We also have National Stock Exchange. BSE, no doubt, is the oldest stock exchange in India. But looking at the values of the trades which are conducted, etc., the largest in India comes out to be the National Stock Exchange. In addition to this, as of 31st March 2026, the exchange was also the largest in India by total cash market turnover and the third largest globally by the number of the cash equity trades. These are certain very important points in the context of NSE. Now, when this IPO will be conducted, who are allowed to invest? To whom these instruments, that is the shares of the NSE, will be sold? 50% of the shares are to be sold to the institutional investors. The 15%, the next 15% will be sold to the non-institutional investors, and the remaining 35% of the shares will be sold to the retail investors. So the retail investors such as you and me, we can also invest in the IPO of National Stock Exchange of India Limited. Now, apart from these particular points, what are the important points in comparison between NSE as well as BSE? The Bombay Stock Exchange was established back in the year 1875. The National Stock Exchange was established in the year 1992 and it became operational from the year 1994. Very important point. Second, the major index under the Bombay Stock Exchange is Sensex. It's a combination of two terms, sensitivity index. Whereas in case of the National Stock Exchange, the major index is Nifty 50. The basic idea is that in case of the calculation of Sensex, we take the market capitalization. Of course, here the focus is on the free float market capitalization. So we take the market capitalization of 30 companies, whereas in case of Nifty 50, as the name is suggesting, we take the market capitalization of 50 companies. Next important point, the Bombay Stock Exchange, like I stated earlier, it is the oldest stock exchange in India. Whereas looking at the turnover, the values of the trade, etc., the National Stock Exchange is the largest. In case of Bombay Stock Exchange, over 5,500 companies are listed, and in case of National Stock Exchange, over 2,500 companies are listed. Now, this is not the first time that NSE is trying to conduct an IPO. The Bombay Stock Exchange has conducted its IPO back in the year 2017, and NSE had proposed to conduct an IPO back in the year 2016 itself. But the problem with the NSE was that it was alleged to be involved in certain wrongdoing. For example, there is a very famous or infamous case where NSE was alleged to have provided certain preferential access to certain traders. I am talking about the co-location case. The co-location case. Investigations were conducted and now the case is over. And following that particular closure of the case, NSE has proposed to conduct its IPO. This is one very important point. Another very important point in the context of NSE is the fact that it introduced the screen-based trading. It introduced the screen-based trading system in India, which is adopted even in case of the Bombay Stock Exchange now. So these are certain very important points in the context of National Stock Exchange, Bombay Stock Exchange, and the IPO that is there in the discussion for the National Stock Exchange. Now, based on this particular discussion, here is an MCQ. Consider the following statements. During an IPO, only the fresh shares are issued by the company. IPO and FPOs come under the regulation of Securities Exchange Board of India. Which of the above statements is or are correct? Do let me know the correct answer to this particular question in the comment section of the video. If you have liked the discussion that we have done in this particular session, do not forget to hit the like button. If you are yet to join the Unacademy IAS YouTube channel, kindly do it right now. Thank you. Have a great day.